Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. English Daily, your go-to space for real English conversations that actually sound like life. I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. You picked a good day to show up.
And if you've been with us for a while, seriously, thank you. Every time you come back, you're making a choice to grow, and that matters more than you think.
Because here's something we believe deeply. Listening is not a passive skill. It's not just background noise. It's how your brain quietly builds the architecture of a new language.
Every conversation you follow, every sentence that clicks, every word you recognize that you didn't recognize before, that's real progress happening inside you.
Even on days when it doesn't feel obvious, even when you're tired, even when you understand 60% and feel frustrated about the other 40%.
The rhythm is entering you. The patterns are forming. So please, don't underestimate what you're doing right now just by listening.
And if something has shifted for you recently, your confidence, your listening speed, your ability to follow conversations, drop it in the comments, because your progress doesn't just belong to you. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.
Also, tell us where you're tuning in from. We always love knowing which part of the world is here with us.
Okay, speaking of things that are happening right now, Luna, I have a confession to make.
Oh no, that tone. What did you do?
Last night, I very seriously told myself, tonight is an early night. Lights off by 10. Very responsible, very adult.
And
at 12:53 in the morning, I was watching a 40-minute documentary about abandoned lighthouses in Norway.
Luna, why were you there?
I genuinely don't know. I have never been to Norway. I have no lighthouse-related problems in my life, and yet, there I was, fully invested.
See, this is the thing. Healthy habits always sound completely logical until actual nighttime arrives and your brain has other plans.
Exactly. In your head, the plan is elegant. In reality, you're horizontal, phone in hand, learning about Norwegian maritime history at 1 a.m.
And this is actually a perfect way into today's episode because today we're talking about healthy habits, but not in that polished, unrealistic way that makes you feel vaguely guilty.
Not the wake up at 5, drink lemon water, meditate for an hour version that nobody actually maintains.
Right. We're talking about the real version, the messy, emotional, sometimes you fail version, because healthy habits are deeply connected to how you feel, how much energy you have, what kind of stress you're carrying, and honestly, how you see yourself.
And this is a B1 to B2 level episode. So if your English is around intermediate level, you're in exactly the right place.
Don't worry about catching every single word. Follow the meaning, let the language land naturally, and later we'll have our word tour where we slow down and go through the most useful words and phrases from today's conversation.
So while we talk about habits that can genuinely shift your life, your English is also building in the background, naturally, the way it should.
And before we go deeper, quick question for you. What's one healthy habit you keep promising yourself and keep quietly abandoning?
Mine from last night is extremely obvious.
Mine is I'll just check one thing on my phone, which has never once been one thing.
History's most optimistic lie.
Truly. Okay, let's get into it.
Can I start with something that might feel a little uncomfortable?
How uncomfortable?
The kind of thing that sounds obvious when you say it out loud, but somehow still surprises people.
Go ahead.
Most people already know what healthy habits look like. Sleep, movement, less stress, more water, real food, rest.
That's true. Nobody discovers that vegetables exist and suddenly feels their whole life shift.
Right. The information is not the missing piece. The living is. Because real life doesn't look like a morning routine video. Real life is tired, distracted, overstimulated, and often holding a phone like it's a lifeline.
And your 8 a.m. self who made that beautiful plan, she has abandoned you completely by 10 p.m.
Morning me is a dreamer. Night me has snacks and no principles.
So this is the first real thing. Healthy habits aren't just about actions, they're about identity.
Say more about that.
A habit becomes stable when it stops feeling like a task on a list and starts feeling like part of who you are. There's a difference between I'm trying to exercise more this month and I'm someone who moves their body regularly.
The first one sounds temporary. The second one sounds personal.
Exactly. And the word that matters here is intentional. When something is intentional, you do it with awareness and purpose, not just because the day pushed you somewhere by accident.
And even before the habit becomes perfect, approaching it intentionally already feels different, more grounded, more yours.
Because a life built on small, deliberate choices feels steadier than one built on reactions.
But even when people know who they want to be, there's still something that works against them.
The environment.
Yes, your surroundings are often more powerful than your willpower. People wonder why they keep reaching for unhealthy snacks while the snacks are sitting in a clear bowl on the kitchen counter like they own the place.
Confident little villains.
They really are. Or wondering why phone usage keeps creeping up at night while the phone is charging 6 inches from your pillow.
And here's what matters. People are too quick to blame themselves. They say, I have no discipline, when the real problem is their entire environment is quietly working against them.
Your space matters. Your desk matters. Your bedroom matters. What's visible matters. What's within reach matters. It's like trying to walk forward while the floor beneath you is slowly moving backward.
I went through this with sleep. I kept saying I wanted better rest, very sincere about it, but my laptop was always open, my phone was always charged, and I had zero wind-down routine.
So your environment was basically sending a very clear message. Nobody's sleeping here tonight.
Exactly. And this is where the word detrimental fits. Something detrimental causes harm, often quietly, often gradually, not dramatically, just consistently.
Constant light, constant noise, constant access to distraction, all of it slowly pulling your energy in the wrong direction.
So instead of asking, why do I have no willpower, maybe ask, what around me keeps making the unhealthy choice the easiest one?
That question is kinder and smarter because sometimes it's not your character that's the problem, it's your setup.
And once you see that, something else becomes clearer too.
A lot of unhealthy habits aren't really about pleasure, they're about comfort.
That point is so important because when people say, I'm lazy, the real story is often, I'm overwhelmed or I'm lonely or I'm exhausted and I need to feel okay for 5 minutes.
Stress eating, late night scrolling, too much coffee, staying up past the point of reason, these habits are emotional before they're practical. They give you something, temporary relief, numbness, a sense of control, even if tomorrow has to pay for it.
I went through a season like that. Overworked, underrested, answering messages at all hours, running on caffeine, and the belief that busy meant productive.
You were burning the candle at both ends.
Completely. And that's why the better question isn't always, how do I stop this habit? It's, what is this habit doing for me emotionally? Is it providing comfort, escape, a sense of calm after a hard day?
Because if you take away the habit without understanding the need it was meeting, something else just fills that space.
You can't stop the rain by removing the umbrella.
That's exactly right. And then there's the layer that doesn't get talked about enough. Modern life actively rewards unhealthy patterns.
It really does. Sit more, scroll more, sleep less, move faster, always respond, always be available, don't pause for even 5 minutes.
And when people feel like they're secretly failing at taking care of themselves, sometimes they're not just failing, they're pushing against a system designed to make the unhealthy choice the default.
Distraction is always already open. Rest takes intention. A walk takes intention. Cooking takes intention. But your phone never asks you if you're sure you want to lose 40 minutes to nothing useful.
It just offers you 3 more things that want your attention.
And this is where cut back on fits perfectly. When you cut back on something, you reduce it, not necessarily to 0, but to a healthier amount. Cut back on scrolling, cut back on background noise, cut back on always being reachable.
It sounds like adjustment, not punishment, which matters because a habit only works if it actually fits your real life, not the idealized version, the actual one.
Not the version of you who has 2 free hours every morning and somehow finds meal prep deeply satisfying.
I tried one of those perfect routines once. Wake early, stretch, journal, meditate, make a beautiful breakfast. Very inspiring on paper.
Dangerous territory.
Angry at oats is such a specific kind of adult exhaustion.
It really is. And that's when I understood the routine wasn't sustainable. And that word changed things for me. If something is sustainable, you can actually continue it over time. It fits your energy and your real schedule, not just a good week.
So the question shifted from what looks impressive to what I can actually keep doing.
Yes, and that's a much healthier place to begin, because a small habit you genuinely maintain for 5 months is worth more than a dramatic one you abandon by Thursday.
A 10-minute walk you actually take beats a 1-hour workout you keep rescheduling indefinitely.
And this is where moderation matters. Moderation means balance, not extreme, not zero, just enough to support you. And people struggle with it because dramatic transformations feel exciting. From tomorrow, everything changes.
And then tomorrow shows up like, good luck with all that.
But moderation is quieter. It asks, what is enough? What is realistic? What will actually hold?
Less glamorous to post about, much more peaceful to live.
And when something finally fits your real life, something else starts to happen.
You begin to trust yourself again.
Small habits build self-trust over time, and people underestimate this. They think habits are only about outcomes, weight, energy, productivity, but they're also about the relationship you build with yourself.
Every small promise you keep to yourself, something inside settles a little. Like, oh, maybe I can actually rely on me.
I had a habit once that was almost embarrassingly simple. After dinner, I walked for 10 minutes. That's all.
Just 10?
Just 10, but I kept it. And if you stick to something, you stay with it consistently, even when it's not exciting. And that felt powerful. Not because the habit was impressive, but because I did what I said I would do.
That builds real confidence.
It does, because every broken promise to yourself, even tiny ones, makes your own word feel lighter, less serious. And then people think they need a bigger plan when sometimes what they need is a smaller, more honest promise.
I used to catastrophize when I miss a few days. Very dramatic. I failed. It's over. This is who I am now.
I missed Wednesday. My entire character is compromised.
Exactly. But learning to get back on track, that changed everything.
Yes, getting back on track means returning to what was helping you after going off course. And that phrase matters so much because consistency isn't about never slipping, it's about knowing how to return.
Without shame, without making it a whole event.
Without letting one difficult week become a permanent identity shift.
One missed workout does not mean you've committed to the sofa.
Although sofas do make a compelling case.
They really do. And I think this brings us to maybe the most important point of all.
The deepest healthy habit is learning to care for yourself without using punishment as the motivation.
Because a lot of people begin healthy habits from a place of frustration. They're angry at themselves, so they try to change through pressure and criticism.
Fix yourself, hurry, be better, do more.
And maybe that works for a few days, but it rarely feels peaceful. And often it backfires because pressure creates stress, and stress pushes people straight back toward the habits they were trying to escape.
It becomes a loop, which is why health has to include something restorative. If something is restorative, it helps you recover. It gives back energy, calm, or balance.
A walk becomes restorative. Real sleep becomes restorative. A quiet meal. A moment without a screen, because then you're not treating yourself like a machine to be optimized. You're treating yourself like a person who deserves care.
I had a moment like that after a really difficult stretch. I was scattered, not sleeping well, not eating properly, and talking to myself in this cold, efficient voice like a disappointed manager.
That sounds exhausting.
I'd nearly built this enormous recovery plan, pages of rules, very intense.
The classic overcorrection.
And then I stopped and asked, what would actually make me feel cared for tonight? Not impressive, just cared for.
What did you do?
Tidied my space a little, made something simple to eat, took a warm shower, put the phone away, slept properly.
That sounds genuinely lovely.
It was. And the part that mattered, I didn't do it because I was punishing myself. I did it because I was tired and I deserved some care.
That is such a different starting point.
Completely. Because when healthy habits come from self-respect, they feel steadier, less harsh, more sustainable.
And this is where resilient comes in. If you're resilient, you can recover, adapt, and keep moving forward after difficulty.
Resilience isn't hardness, it's flexibility.
More like a tree than a statue. A statue looks strong, but one crack and it shatters. A tree moves with the storm.
And I think healthy habits should make you more tree-like, more able to bend, return, and keep going.
Because anyone can maintain a routine during a perfect week, the real question is, can your habits still support you when the week is hard, when you're tired or stressed or starting again for the third time?
And maybe that's the real reason healthy habits can change your life. Not because they make you look a certain way, but because over time they teach you how to live with yourself more kindly,
More intentionally,
more sustainably,
with moderation,
with fewer detrimental patterns quietly working against you.
and with enough self-trust to stick to what helps, cut back on what doesn't, and get back on track when life pulls you sideways.
That was beautifully said.
I had a moment.
You had several, but really, if there's one thing to carry from this episode, it's this. Health is not a punishment plan, it's a care plan.
It's not about becoming a perfect version of yourself. It's about becoming someone who knows how to look after their own life, one honest choice at a time.
And that is a much kinder place to begin.
A much kinder place.
All right, let's slow it all down and visit today's word tour. These are the words and phrases we use throughout the episode, and they're incredibly useful not just for talking about health, but for life, work, emotions, and personal growth.
Let's go through them one by one.
First word, intentional.
If something is intentional, you do it on purpose, with awareness and thought behind it, not by accident, not just reacting.
Example, she became more intentional about how she used her evenings.
Or, healthy habits feel stronger when your choices are intentional, not random.
Repeat, intentional.
Intentional.
Next, detrimental.
If something is detrimental, it causes harm, often quietly, gradually over time.
Example, too much screen time before bed can be detrimental to your sleep quality.
Or, a stressful environment can be detrimental to your health in the long run.
Repeat, detrimental.
Detrimental.
Now an idiom, burn the candle at both ends.
If you burn the candle at both ends, you push yourself too hard in too many directions, using up your energy without giving yourself enough rest.
Example, he was burning the candle at both ends and eventually crashed completely.
Or, you can't stay well if you keep burning the candle at both ends every single week.
Repeat, burn the candle at both ends.
Burn the candle at both ends.
Now a phrasal verb, cut back on.
If you cut back on something, you reduce it, not always to zero, but to a healthier, more manageable level.
Example, she decided to cut back on late-night scrolling so she could sleep better.
Or, he cut back on coffee and immediately noticed a difference in his anxiety.
Repeat, cut back on.
Cut back on.
Next word, sustainable.
If something is sustainable, you can realistically continue doing it over time. It fits your actual life.
Example, a 10-minute daily walk is far more sustainable than a dramatic plan you abandon after 3 days.
Or, the best routine isn't the most impressive one, it's the most sustainable one.
Repeat, sustainable.
Sustainable.
Now, moderation.
Moderation means balance, not excessive, not absent, just enough to support you in a healthy way.
Example, she still enjoys her favorite foods, but in moderation.
Or, healthy living usually works better through moderation than through extremes.
Repeat, moderation.
Moderation.
Now, phrasal verb, stick to.
If you stick to something, you continue doing it consistently. You stay committed rather than giving up when it gets difficult.
Example, she made a small, simple routine and actually stuck to it for months.
Or, it's much easier to stick to habits that fit your real life.
Repeat, stick to.
Stick to.
Next phrase, get back on track.
If you miss a few days, you get back on track without any drama the following week.
Or, one bad day doesn't ruin your progress, you can always get back on track. Repeat, get back on track.
Get back on track.
Next word, restorative.
If something is restorative, it helps you recover. It gives back energy, calm, or balance.
Example, a quiet walk in the evening can feel deeply restorative.
Or, good sleep is one of the most restorative habits you can build into your life.
Repeat, restorative.
Restorative.
And our final word, resilient.
If you're resilient, you're able to recover after difficulty, stress, or setbacks. You bend, but you don't break.
Example, she became more resilient after learning how to genuinely care for herself during hard seasons.
Or healthy habits build resilience, not just productivity.
Repeat, resilient.
Resilient.
And those are your word tour words for today. Intentional, detrimental, burn the candle at both ends, cut back on, sustainable, moderation, stick to, get back on track, restorative, and resilient.
Notice something. None of these are only health words. You can use every single one of them when talking about work, relationships, emotions, and personal growth.
So pick one or two, write your own sentence, and drop it in the comments. We genuinely love reading them.
And if today's episode landed somewhere real for you, share it with someone who might need it too.
So, before you go, ask yourself this one thing.
What is one small habit that would make your week feel a little more cared for?
Not more impressive, not more extreme, just more honest, more kind, more sustainable.
Start there. That's enough.
Take care of your English.
And take care of yourself.
I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo.
And this has been Mr. English Daily.
See you in the next one.